Why are you getting on for?
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us, and a big welcome to any new subscribers that may be watching. It's great to have you all along. We're sat on the edge of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, right alongside Bradley Swing Bridge. In this episode we're going to look at a few visits we've made recently to a variety of different places, and we're going to start with the double bridge at East Marton. Hi, and thanks for joining me. And we're going to start with the double bridge at East Marton, which is on the A59 road between Skipton and Gisburn. We're just walking down to have a look at the DoubleArched Bridge at East Marton. It's quite a well-known bridge. As you cross it on the road, it just looks like a standard bridge. You don't realise there's anything special about it. You'll soon see what I mean. The bridge is coming into view now. The double-arched bridge is situated on the A59 road at East Marton, roughly midway between Skipton and Gisburn, and crosses the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. The A59 itself is a major road about 109 miles in length, which runs from York to Wallasey on Merseyside. The structure is Grade 2 listed by Historic England, meaning it is of special architectural interest. It was listed on 31st October 1988. It is bridge number 161. The listing dates the bridge to about 1790, with the engineer as Robert Whitworth. It is built of rubble and looks like two bridges, one built on top of the other. It is thought the upper arch was built on top of the original bridge to raise it up to the level of the roadway. It is not clear if this was done when the bridge was first built or at a later time when the road was improved. The upper part doesn't look particularly newer, so it could have been built like it. The listing states the lower is a strainer arch and appears integral, occasioned by the unusual height of the abutments. It looks to me as though the road has been widened in modern times, this being evident from the overhangs either side. We hope you enjoyed that look at the double-arched bridge. On another day we visited the town of Settle, and in particular the Museum of North Craven Life, and we both found it very interesting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and afterwards we had tea and cake. What could be better? We're just on our way to visit the Museum of North Craven Life in the town of Settle. The museum is housed in the Folly, a 17th century gentleman's residence listed Grade 1 by Historic England on the 20th of February 1958. Craven District Council is one of several councils in Yorkshire as shown on this map. The Museum of North Craven Life was founded in 1976 by the Settle and District Civic Society, then chaired by Alan Bennett, a well-known English playwright and writer. This later developed into the North Craven Building Preservation Trust, who have their headquarters here, and the North Craven Heritage Trust, the two organisations working closely together. To quote, "In a period of rapid change, people recognised the need to preserve the objects, sights, sounds and memories of North Craven before they disappeared. Today, the museum continues to collect and share its resources and to celebrate all that makes North Craven unique." Apologies for the flickering lighting. I think this is something to do with the lights installed at the museum. What you're looking at?
Yeah, still the case. So yeah. I mean, I was inspired. Who we talked to that teacher? The one that says he's taking his family to. Yeah.
After our visit to the museum, we went to Settle Railway Station, which is quite historic and beautifully preserved. Although there were service trains running that day, none came through the station whilst we were there, but we hope you enjoy this look around. Apart from anything else, there's a beautifully restored signal box. Sally's got the giggles, I don't know why. She's looking at a swan at the moment, playing games, I think. I hope you enjoy what you're about to see. Settle Station was built in 1876 for the Midland Railway and is on the very scenic Settle to Carlisle line. The station buildings, station house and signal box are all Grade 2 listed by Historic England. The station and house were listed on the 9th of March 1984. And the signal box more recently on the 14th of August 2013. More of the signal box later. The station is owned by Network Rail and the current operator is Northern Rail. I have mentioned several times in this video about listed buildings. Historic England maintain the National Heritage List for England, which is an online register of all listed buildings, structures, monuments and sites where a search can be made using the search bar or interactive map. The signal box is a standard Type 2A Midland Railway design, manufactured of timber construction in kit form at the company's signalling workshops in Derby. It was built in 1891 but closed for operational purposes on the 13th of May 1984 and lay derelict for more than a decade. It is still owned by Network Rail, but is classed as a non-operational heritage asset. It was given to the Friends of the Settle Carlisle line on long-term loan in June 1997, with the proviso that the structure be recited and restored. It was relocated to the station and restored during the 1997-99 period and is now operated as a small museum regularly open to the public. It is no longer attached to the railway. It still contains its original 20-lever tumbler locking frame, although the Midland Railway converted the frame to tap it into locking about 1909. The tank house is also Grade 2 listed and has been so since 9th of March 1984 when the station was listed, although the conversion from water tank to house did not take place until the 2010-2012 period. We've also visited Ribblehead Viaduct, which is on the Settle to Carlisle railway line. This is not to be confused with the Glenfinnan Viaduct, which is on the West Highland line in Scotland, which runs from Fort William to Mallaig. The West Highland Railway actually runs from Glasgow and divides at Crianlarich to go to Oban, or continues northwards to Mallaig via Fort William. It is the steam train known as the Jacobite, which runs between Fort William and Mallaig. It's the Glenfinnan Viaduct that appears in the Harry Potter films and not the Ribblehead. The reason we went to Ribblehead Viaduct was to see a rail tour passing through. And for the first time I filmed there using my drone. So I hope you enjoy the footage you're about to see. We're at Battymoss Railway Viaduct, better known as the Ribblehead Viaduct, on the very scenic and beautiful Settle to Carlisle railway line, built by the Midland Railway in the 1870s. The viaduct is Grade 2 star listed by Historic England and was listed from the 23rd of November 1988. We're here to see a rail tour headed by a steam locomotive. Whilst we were waiting, a service train came over the viaduct, followed by a freight train. Shortly after, it was the main event. The rail tour is headed by Southern Railway Merchant Navy Class 462, number 35018, British India Line, built in 1945. The viaduct is built of rock-faced stone and brick and has 24 segmental arches on battered piers, some of which have been cased in concrete and others have iron straps. It is 104 feet or 32 metres above the valley floor at its highest point and 440 yards or 402 metres in length. It is the largest and most impressive of the viaducts on the Settle to Carlisle route. The northern end of the viaduct is 13 feet or 4 metres higher in elevation than the southern end, a gradient of 1 in 100. It was a really lovely day, and after we'd seen the rail tour pass, we had a quick look at Ribblehead Station. We then went to the Station Inn public house for some light refreshment. And later on, after having a good mooch around, we enjoyed some ice cream. Sally has always wanted to visit Ribblehead Viaduct.
I have, yes. I've been over on a train on the Settle to Carlisle line, but I've never been to it. Wanted to go and see it.
So this is the first time you've actually seen it?
Yeah.
Thing is, when you go over a viaduct on a train, you're really not aware of it because you're just seeing the scenery either side, and you don't appreciate the elevation or anything like that. And seeing it as it is really something,
Yeah,
isn't
oh,
it?
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you just flash past on a train.
You do,
You
very
don't
much
see
so.
it, do you?
Yes, yeah.
And of course, going to the station inn, that was on my list too.
Yeah, so we've got something off your bucket list.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
something off my bucket list. Yeah, I'm going to try and make it a bit longer.
Yeah.
So,
We are trying to get out and about as much as we can. There's no doubt about that. But and I love Yorkshire, always have done. It's just that when I lived in the southwest, it was a long way to visit, and family and work commitments did prevent me from doing it as much as I would have liked. So I'm so pleased to have the opportunity to visit Yorkshire now and come and stay with Sally, and it's great,
oh,
isn't
you're
it?
retired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
retired. It's a
Retired.
good thing to be retired.
It is.
You're busier when you're
It is.
retired than when you're working.
Yeah.
I never stop. I'm always on the go doing something. We hope you've enjoyed this look at various things we've been up to in Yorkshire. We've had a really good time, lots of fun doing it. All that remains for us to do and say as usual is to wish you well. Hope you're looking after yourselves, your friends and families, taking the utmost care in whatever you're doing. Until next time, it's bye for now from both of us. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.